You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone, enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to all of our viewers on the live stream platforms, Cowdray TV, Polo Line TV. We're here at the Emsworth Polo Grounds, where we have a clash between Scone and BP Polo here in the British Open Championships 2023. The Gold Cup is up for grabs, and we've seen plenty of wonderful games thus far. Just the one game today. This is a rescheduled match that was due to take place at 12 o'clock down in the Sussex area. It's been moved up to Berkshire here, and the stage is set for these two teams to have a proper battle here at Emsworth. Here's a list of the top scorers thus far. A couple of games in for some teams. Some teams have played one and other teams yet to have an outing. But look at that. Nicolas Piedis from yesterday. Extraordinary stuff. 11 goals in that wonderful game. There'll be highlights of that later on. An incredible game at Knoll Farm. Piedis turning on the charm. Supple Cassette has 10 goals to his name. Pablo McDonough is also in fine form with 8 goals. Tommy Beresford, well, he was blistering at the Lawns yesterday, and a really convincing win for UAE over Black Bears. Tommy scoring 7 goals thus far, and Hilario Ochoa has 6 goals to his name. Here are the runners and riders for this one. Scone lining up with David Paradise at number 1. Matias Gonzalez, Kulor Gonzalez at 2. Poroto Cambiaso takes the 3 shirt. And a second 9-goal player in the side. Tomas Panelo, who's in for the injured Adolfito Cambiaso, playing at the back. For BP Polo, Joevy Beh is at the front. Genaro Ringa is at 2. At 3, Benjamin Panelo playing against his brother, of course. And at the back, of a 5-goal handicap, completing the 22 goals, is Garvy Beh. Our two umpires, Tim Bowen and Howard Smith, are on the ponies. And the third man, with the benefit of the replay here, is Mr. Ben Turner. So the players are just lining up on the far side. And in fact, the ball is in. And it is picked up here by BP Polo, reaching out there on the near side. Lovely little reach that was, and sweeping the ball around the corner. It's good stuff by Gonzalez. Right off coming in from Beh, but Gonzalez is good. He's left the ball behind, though. That's a nice tail backhander. Turning sharply here is Tommy Panelo. Panelo now. Well, his stick raised there. And it was his brother who came absolutely steaming through. It's going to be a fascinating contest between those two boys from Lobos. Let's have another look at the replay here. Well, see what the umpires decide here. Looked to me like Tommy Panelo was well established. In fact, it was Garvy Beh who came flying through, along with Benja Panelo. It's a spot hit, penalty 5 in favour of Scone. To be taken here by the man who was fouled, Tommy Panelo. Couple of little taps. Poroto breaks out to the right-hand side. Cambiaso dropping in on this. Kimono, the chestnut, just a little pop there as he looks up and tries to find a way down towards goal, opens his shoulders and drives that one downfield. Waiting for that on the near side. That's a good little touch there from Garvy Beh. He's flicked it around the corner and done well out of defence. Big ride-off coming in, and that was Gonzalez who's turned it around towards David Paradise, but Panelo is back in defence. Benja. He's done well. Launches it high. Panelo downfield to Genaro. Ringa coming through. Cambiaso will get there first. Cambiaso tickling that one forward on the offside, switching to the near side. Takes the contact and then spins the corner here on this lovely looking chestnut. Hooks, reaches out, controls it. Has he? No, he's lost it. And, whoa, huge ride-off coming in there. That was Gonzalez with a crunching ride-off. And you could hear the yelp. That was extraordinary. And needless to say, the umpires have blown their whistle. Here's the replay. Bush. Have a bit of that. Well, it was a nice bit of work there from Joevy Beh. And he may well have earned his side a penalty too here. And an opportunity to draw first blood in this one. Played one, lost one, BP Polo. Scone have a different result in their first match, having run out the winners in their first game. So BP Polo will be keen to try and get a victory in this match, of course. Here comes Panelo circling around. Benja. Open goal shot. Ooh, must have been quite close to that left-hand post, but the flag is waving and the goal stands. So it is, in fact, BP Polo who go into an early lead here with 5:20 left on the clock in the first. Back to the centre. And the ball's back in play. Possession up for grabs. Who's got it? Work forward by BP Polo. Cambiaso's back in defence there. Just about done enough. Flick forward. And they're in again here. Goal shot coming in under his pony's neck. It's the front man looking for another very important intervention. And he's found the score. That was absolutely brilliant. Under the neck shot, set himself. And Joevy Beh has put number 2 on the scoreboard here for the red shirts. And, well, what a blistering start by BP Polo. Benja Panelo has changed ponies. Don't think he's going to get back in time. And the ball is in after the 25-second count. Picked up here by his brother, Tommy Panelo. Cambiaso was there. He couldn't get possession. Kulor comes through and then finds one downfield, and there's no one at home here in defence. Cambiaso with a couple of glances over his shoulder, and he can just nudge that one down towards goal. Lovely approach shot here from Poroto, and Poroto will score. Well, there he is, finishing that one off. But it was Gonzalez who came out of that pack, that cluster of players there from the throw-in. And he found a nice pass downfield, and Cambiaso, well, there was no one at home in defence to challenge the young man. And he's too good to have missed that opportunity. 3-2-1 on the clock here in the first. Cambiaso once again cutting that one downfield, and he's on the march here. Poroto looking over his shoulder. He's got plenty of time and space. Look at the blocking coming in from Panelo. It's Cambiaso up inside the 30. Poroto. He's got another one, and he's tied the match here in the first. It's 2-2. Well, of course, Scone will know this field very well. They're stabled here. They practice here. They'll certainly be feeling at home. And after that slightly sluggish start, looks like they've clicked into gear here. And, well, it's going to be a fascinating contest. Another nice pickup here by Joevy, who's had a brilliant start to the match. Panelo comes in and sweeps up one round under his pony's neck, and then asks that pony to extend. Joevy Beh doing a really good job there on Panelo. He's still got it. Tommy leaves it there for Poroto. Cambiaso goes past Ringa. Still has possession of the ball here. Ringa waits. Cambiaso working it left and then right, and then opening up and driving that down towards goal, leaking out to the right-hand side, but it will stay in play, and there's a goal shot coming in. That was Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has gone wide to the right. Or has he? Well, the whites are cantering back to the centre, and so too are a couple of reds. The goal judge was about to plonk the ball down on the back line, but it looks like that's been awarded. And the white shirts of Scone, after a slow start, find themselves ahead for the first time in the match. It's 3-2. Clash of sticks in the throw-in. Two Panelos coming together. Little flick there from Benja. He's looking for Beh on the far side, the number 4. He came in with a big ride-off there on Gonzalez, and the two cancel each other out, and the ball is here with Poroto Cambiaso, just weaving right and then out to the left and keeping that ball pretty much glued to the end of his stick. Now he leaves it for his teammate. That one's been fizzed into a little cluster of players. And there's a little protest coming in here from Tommy Panelo, claiming that it was controlled. Let's have another look. Here's Poroto. Deliberate flick there to his teammate, and this is what they didn't like. And, well, he tried to control that shot, but it was a full swing. There were players in close proximity, and the umpires are judging him to have had to miss those two players in front of him. There was plenty of space left and a little bit of space right as well. And in the end, it's a penalty 5 spot hit here to the Reds. First time hit, that's nice and high and fairly long as well. Who's on the end of that? Panelo takes the hook there on Ringa. Ringa goes flying through, and Panelo's got possession of the ball. Ringa seems to have an issue here. And he's calling for a timeout. And that was like candy from a baby, wasn't it? Puts the brakes on, takes the hook. But Ringa may have an issue here. Let's hope he's okay. I think it's an injury to the player. Possibly his right hand or arm. Certainly Whites had clear possession, didn't they? No doubt about that. And they were about to launch an attack. Let's give you an update on some of the scores. If you've missed some of those previous games, it's been absolutely blistering, this British Open Gold Cup thus far. I can tell you some incredible games, very high scoring. We've had 2 or 3 absolute belters. Match day 1 saw Scone put the Vikings to the sword, 11-5 in favour of Scone. And Tommy Panelo coming in for the injured Adolfito Cambiaso. Adolfo got injured in that first Chukka, tried to play on but was replaced by Panelo in the second. Didn't seem to affect the team much. 11-5, and then Marquis de Riscal beat BP Polo 14-7. MVP was Sapo Cassette in that one. Anyway, more about those scores later on. We've got ball back in play here, and it's Tommy Panelo looking for an under-the-neck shot pass to Poroto Cambiaso. Cambiaso switches over and keeps the ball here on the offside. Takes the hook there of Beh, who comes flying through and tries to steal. Cambiaso looking for options. Nudges it up over the halfway line. David Paradise drops in behind and then may shuffle downfield. He's trying to come in and get a block there. Tommy Panelo's done well, and he's stolen the ball off Poroto, but he's inadvertently nudged it into Paradise, and he's lost possession here as Cambiaso comes through the field once again. Poroto, a little show and go there on Ringa, and he opens up and fizzes that one down towards goal. And well, he'll probably be disappointed with that because the space had opened up and he's overcut it. He's off target and he's wide to the right. And that will be the final action of this first Chukka, a fascinating Chukka. And it was the red shirts of BP Polo who had the start. They came out of the blocks absolutely on fire with some great play from Joevy Beh, but they've been pegged back here. And at the end of the first, Scone lead. It's 3-2.
Here at Cowdray Park, and the ball goes in play, and straight away out the front here comes Cambiaso. Cambiaso hooks up a play there by Juan Martin Sevilla, who just has a little look. Sorry, no, that's James Bine. Hooked up a play, and through now comes Adolfo Cambiaso. His first sighted goal here for Adolfo Cambiaso. 30 yards out, 10 yards out. Adolfo Cambiaso with the tap through the goal. And let's hear it. We have the first goal of the British Open here, and it's the master Adolfo Cambiaso just running through the line out. Lovely little neck shot at the end, and Adolfo Cambiaso puts it away.
These are the best goals and highlights of the match. That was Lukin with that really well-timed ride-off on Juanma. Came in and got the job done on the near side. Barto, blitzing guy. Schwarzenbach had a brilliant game, I have to say, but he couldn't do anything about Barto Castagnola there. And Barto coming up with the under-the-neck shot to get that one across the line. Here's Guy. A couple of goals in the match for him. And this was Nero at the end of the fifth, wasn't it? Final hit of the fifth Chukka, and it put the Black Bears within 2 at that point. It was a really important goal, but unfortunately they couldn't get the next goal And it was UAE who started to stretch away in that sixth and final Chukka. Here's Beresford on the march, getting away from Antonio Hegi. Around the corner, off the pony. A little bit of luck there potentially because the pony did kick that, but
You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone. Enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the start of the second Chukka here in this contest between Scone and BP Polo. I hope you enjoyed those highlights reels in that break. Wonderful game that was between UAE and Black Bears from Lawns 1 yesterday. And despite the 5-goal deficit, Black Bears certainly playing their part and putting in a really big performance. But in the end, UAE just proving to be too strong. Some wonderful open running polo, though, down in Cowdray yesterday. And it was a joy to watch. We've got a knock-in here to BP Polo. They're all coming out from the back line. And we're back underway. Beh. Didn't quite get hold of that one, just scuffed it a little bit. And, well, miscontrol there from Tommy Panelo. Cambiaso comes in and plays a little open backhander. Kulor is turning, but so too. Here is his teammate who tickles that one forward on the near side. Good stuff here by Panelo, who works it around the corner, takes contact, and then goes for the tail shot. Didn't quite get the execution he was looking for, but he's back in possession here, and he's still dancing around inside that 30-yard line, trying to make a nuisance of himself here for BP Polo. Good stuff. Leaves it for Cambiaso. Cambiaso flicks it away from Beh and goes past another challenge there. That was Panelo who came in. That one's been deflected off the pony, and there'll be a chance here for the red shirts to clear on the far side of the field. Good stuff once again from BP Polo in defence. And it's gone out to the left-hand side. Ringa it is. Under pressure there from Panelo. Nice little turn. Brings it back in field. He's got control. Whites are called out of it. Bencha launches that one out towards, well, downfield towards a teammate. His teammate's got established on the end of that, and that's a long half swing. He's powered it down towards goal. Is it straight? No, it's leaking right. And Cambiaso is back in defence here. He may well have to play this, and he does. Ball did not go out of play, and Cambiaso, a little flick round the corner. Oh, and he's got on the end of it. This is very, very dangerous for BP Polo because Poroto Cambiaso has found some space. He's gone beyond a couple of BP Polo players. Joevy Beh trying to get back, and whoa. Well, here is the replay. Long shot downfield from Poroto. And Bencha Panelo thought he could just nip in there and try and steal that, but the gap was certainly closing. Poroto was absolutely steaming down the field, and the umpires didn't like it. So here comes Poroto. A couple of very casual practice swings. He circles around here to take this penalty 2. 30-yard hit. And he scuffed it a little bit, but it was straight enough, and they all count. So Scone opening up a lead here, and they go into a 2-goal advantage early doors in the second. Ball pops out here at the back of the throw-in. Cambiaso's there again, so too is Kulor Gonzalez. Little flick around the corner there from Panelo. Ringa's there. Panelo's done well, and he's gone beyond him, and he's found a little pocket of space. And Beh was not sure whether to just put the brakes on and wait and come in and get the hook or go back in defence. And in the end, he's come up with a good decision because the Reds have got the ball back here. It's Bencha. Panelo Oh, delayed that swing, but he's got away with it. He's got a second go at it here after a little miscontrol from Gonzalez. Poroto, glancing over his shoulder, decides to sweep that one across the field, but he was a bit too casual, wasn't he? And he didn't really get bat on ball. David Paradise is there, and so too was Joevy Beh, who was looking to try and launch that half swing down into the front of the goal, and David Paradise may well have put his pony in the wrong place at the wrong time here. And there it is, under the swing. Enjoy the best of polo. Download the new app, the Polo Line TV app. It's got so much info on there, and if you're a polo enthusiast, then that is a must. Get it on your smartphone or device, or both. Polo Line TV app. Benja Panelo circling around here, looking to cut the gap here and put number 3 on the scoreboard here for BP Polo. Open goal shot, nice contact, straight through the middle. Bit of a squirrel killer, it's high into that oak tree, and let's hope there was no one at home. 4-3 the score, with just over 4 minutes remaining here in the second. Bit of a gloomy day here in Berkshire. Bit moody, bit of rain around. Some of the players out there with long sleeve body warming tops, base layers. It's a strange day. Anyway, play will continue. The field's playing very well. Here comes Benja once again. He's gone through the challenge there and he's going down towards goal. He's beaten his brother and flicked that ball underneath Tommy's stick, but miscontrol there by Benja, and his brother's got possession of the ball back here for Scone. Opens up and tries to fizz one out towards Poroto. Poroto will wait for that and then cross over. Puts the brakes on. Didn't have much momentum. A little show and go, and he's trying to go past Benja Panelo, and the pony now starting to respond here for Poroto Cambiaso. Cambiaso can switch and go offside. Steadies himself and goes for the cut shot. Eventually getting back there was Benja Panelo, and an important hook from him. Tommy Panelo came in. He wanted the line and wanted the foul. In the end, he's had to turn and play the backhander. Poroto is right on the end of this and can meet that head-to-head. Lovely little flick around the corner. Here comes Cambiaso looking for number 5. Poroto Cambiaso surely from there. Oh, he's been hooked. He's hit the goalpost. And, well, the goal judge is signalling. I think the ball may well have crossed the line. Let's have a look. There was a little flick, wasn't there? It was Ringa who came in with a last-ditched attempt to try and get that ball away from the goal, but the ball may well have crossed the line before he did so. It was Poroto who took out the goalpost. Absolutely flattened it. Just having a check on this one. Maybe he did save it. Are they looking at a corner? Goal judge was definitely signalling the ball across the line. Anyway, back to those results from those previous games. As we look at that replay once again. Carnage down there in the goal mouth. Match day 2 saw La Magdalene and Park Place Vara in a wonderful game at Ambersham 3. 12-11, La Magdalene running out the winners. They were behind for most of that match. It was an absolute belter of a game. And the MVP in the end was Pablo McDonough, who turned on the charm in the 5th and 6th chukkers and got the job done for his team. That was backed up by a convincing victory for Dubai over 12 Oaks. And 12 Oaks, who didn't play badly in most of the part of that match, they just were very goal shy and came up with only 3 goals in the game, and they got beaten down on Brooks 10-3 by Dubai. UAE Black Bears, we just saw the highlights of that, 12-7. That was yesterday, and that was backed up by a sensational game at Knoll Farm, which we'll be talking more about later on through the programme. So a corner has been awarded. Poroto has been asked to wait. There's a little bit of confusion. I think, are they talking to the goal judge? They are talking to the goal judge. And there's a strong possibility that this ball did cross the line, but possible to tell from this angle. But the goal judge was pretty convinced first up when he started waving the flag. He was pretty close. And in fact, the goal has been awarded here, folks. A little bit of confusion, but it's all been cleared up now. The goal judge is waving his flag again, and that goal by Poroto Cambiaso will stand. Let's have another look at it. There it is. That's the flick. It was Ringa who came in and tried to flick that ball away from the goal. Or was it Garvy Beh? But either way, the ball had crossed the line. Here's Ringa. Wanted the whistle. Doesn't get it. Backhander coming in there from Kulor Gonzalez. First to surface here is Joevy Beh. Poroto. Tail backhander needed and found. And well, it was a really good backhander, wasn't it? It was short and sweet. Anything a bit longer and probably would have allowed Panelo to get in there and get established. But in the end, there wasn't enough space on that angle. And Kulor Gonzalez was well positioned. There it is. And that's what they didn't like. That's what they've blown. And the ball's been plonked down. And it's going to be another penalty here for Scone. And a chance for them to open up a 3-goal advantage. Looks like a 40-yarder. Penalty 3. And it's going to be young Poroto Cambiaso circling around here on this lovely little rocking horse. Look at the balance and rhythm of this pony. Looks good for penalties, doesn't it? Sets himself. And he goes high and hard and straight. And he's got the score. And it is indeed 6-3 here in favour of the white shirts of Scone. Clock ticks down inside the last couple of minutes here in this second Chukka. Clash of sticks. Who's got it? Joevy Beh at the front there, working away for his team. He's had a good game. Poroto's stolen it, and Poroto's gone. Look at the horsepower. He's absolutely blistering and accelerating away from everyone. This is sensational from Cambiaso, and they just won't get back in time. Once he's gone beyond, he is gone, and that's number 7. It's 7 heaven here for Scone, and we're only in the second. Nothing Panelo could do to get back on level terms. Really quite sensational, the horsepower now. And, well, is there anyone better mounted in world polo than Poroto Cambiaso? I ask you. Beh, backhander coming in. He's hit it quite hard. He was looking for his number 1, but it's Poroto once again, who seems to be here, there and everywhere at the moment. Beh's done a really good job on him there, but he's missed the backhander. Just about had enough time to spin the corner. Oh, he's done really well. Gets away from Poroto. Can he find this one back in field? The approach shot is pretty good. He tries to get back to it, but in doing so, he'd already hit quite a lot of angle on that next shot. And it was Gonzalez who looked like he was established coming in. Let's have a look. There's the next shot. Gonzalez has the inside of the field. And yeah, there it is. There's the foul. Let's see what the umpires decide here. As those two players came together, the next shot came around the corner. Gonzalez had the inside of the field. And the ride-off wasn't very clean. So the goal's been converted. We're going to start with the 5B. Garvy Beh it is, circling around here, the number 4 for BP Polo. And if they could squeeze another goal in here before the end of the second, they'll come in feeling an awful lot better about life. Gone for that monstrous half swing. Look at that, that's absolutely extraordinary. He's cranked that all the way downfield with the half swing. Monstrous, and a little flick back towards goal. That was Joevy Beh, but he's off target and wide to the right. Extraordinary 5B that was. And as the clock ticks down to 2, 1 and 0, that is the end of the second Chukka. A brilliant Chukka of Polo. And it is the white shirts of Scone with the advantage. They're 3 goals ahead here. It's 7 goals to 4, and gives us an opportunity to go and have a look at some highlights between King Power and Monterosso from yesterday's 4 p.m. match. And well, fasten your seatbelts. This highlights reel is absolutely outstanding. Wonderful goals in the match. Which one have we got here? This is Pilon with a neck shot. With Sony doing some good work and finding Pilon. Pilon with that lovely angle. He blasted past the defence and found a great under the neck shot. That was nicely worked. Patience. And another one there for Sterling. Kubi Tocolino launching that one downfield. Genaro under pressure. And this was cute, wasn't it, from Pilon? Lovely couple of touches on the near side. Once again, Sterling showing his class. Kubi, that was a lovely open running goal. Kubi received the pass there from Pilon and was in on goal. Nothing that Genaro could do to stop him. But this one was good. Calls him off it, and Nico goes bang. Just inside the left-hand post. Lovely stuff. What do we got here? It's Nico on the march, and Nico Pieris comes in and is absolutely elated as he wins the goal of the game, shall I say, with that final touch. Here's another one from Nico. In fact, this is Elizalde stick and balling that one down, getting there and across the line before Criado can come in and do anything about it. Nico again. He might have enjoyed the field. What do you reckon? Nice hit there, he got away with it. Here's Pilon. Kubi. Kubi again. Might well have been the first goal of the game. That was a nice little interchange, wasn't it? And this was Criado setting his sights from range. And he was dialed in. That one landed like a...
You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone, enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Well, welcome back to Emsworth Polo Grounds. Start of the third, as that one is pinged out to the right-hand side from Panelo, looking for Cambiaso. Poroto. Beh waits for him. He's been told to use it, and he has used it, and he's absolutely blitzing his way up to the halfway line. Look at this. Once again, Poroto Cambiaso flying past everyone. Benja Panelo comes across and gets an important little touch. David Paradise is there for a piece of the pie, and the backhander comes in from Beh. Out towards Beh. Beh is taken out of it there by Panelo, who spins around the corner. Fakes to go left, back to the right, and then left again. Red will be called out, and then Panelo finds that little pocket of space to nudge the ball into. He's going to go out to the right-hand side and then potentially come up with the next shot. There is the next shot down towards goal. Hasn't middled that. And it's come off the back of the pony and fallen nicely here for Ringa. He's going to go right. Gone out to the right-hand side, and Beh comes in with that big half swing. Love a half swing, don't they, these boys? Especially that man at the back, Garvy Beh. Extraordinary distance he gets on that. Gonzalez. Red is called out. What can Kulor Gonzalez come up with here? He pings that one downfield towards Poroto. Ringa is there. Tail backhander coming in from him is a good one. Well, but the ball was left behind there by Joevy, and it's picked up here by Tommy Panelo. Panelo now looking for a little bit of space. He went to pull the trigger. He wanted the whistle, but the whistle will remain silent, and it's his brother who's turning defence into attack. Miscontrol from Benja. He's got some support here once again. It's Garvy Beh. Garvy up towards Joevy. Joevy Beh and Garvy Beh working their socks off here for their team, and that's another massive hit downfield. It's gone out to the left-hand side. Can Ringa get on the end of this and try and cut it back towards goal? He's working it around the corner. This is dangerous for Scone. Has he got it? Yes, he has. Cambiaso with his stick raised. But it looks like the goal is going to stand here. Here's the replay. Ringa getting away from Paradise. Poroto was there as a last line of defence, but there's nothing he could have done. And BP convert again with 4 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in the third. Garvy Beh has changed. But he's in an onside position, so he's good. He's just tucked in behind the rest, and he's waiting to pick up the first man who may be bursting through. Could well be Poroto. Poroto reaching out there and picking this one up here and flicks it back towards his teammate. Here comes Tommy Panelo. Panelo may well open up here and try and drive this downfield towards Cambiaso, and that's exactly what he's done. Look at this from Poroto. Poroto Cambiaso, surely not. A little flick around the corner under his pony's tail, but on this occasion, he's off target and he's wide to the left. Well, the Reds are getting on with it, and the reason is because Tommy Panelo is changing his horse, and it's 4 against 3 as that one is punched downfield. Really good hit straight down to the number 1, but a miscontrol from him will allow Gonzalez to come in. Or will it? No, he's done well to get back to the ball, and he's come up with a ripper of a tail backhander, and that one's set the team going again, and it's Ringa going from range. It's Ringa with a cut shot. This looks good to me. Has he found it? Oh, that's absolutely brilliant from BP Polo. Well, they sensed that Tommy Panelo was changing. Of course they did. And they took a quick one. And that quick one has turned into a goal. Brilliant stuff. And they've cut the gap. They're scrapping away here for every inch of this Emsworth field. And they trail by just 1. It's 7 goals to 6. Ball's back in play. Benja looking for the ball on the left, and it popped out on the right, but he's got control of it here. Cambiaso will have to yield and clear the way, and that one's been punched downfield by the man from Logos. His brother is at the other end of the field, and he came in with a challenge there. There's a whistle on the play. And this could well be a very good opportunity for the Reds to tie the game. Let's have a look. And there it is. We've got 2 games tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give you the heads up on those 2 matches. 12 o'clock, the Vikings, who have already been seen in this tournament, of course, will be taking on Talandrakas, who we've not seen. That's in League C at 12 o'clock. And at 3 p.m, Park Place Vara, a very unlucky Park Place Vara who played so well against La Magdalene and just came up a little bit short. They'll be taking on Green Gates in League B at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Panelo opens up. Oh, and the umpire's having to take evasive action because that ball was like a heat-seeking missile, but he eventually got out of the way. That was Howard Smith behind the goal there, as that ball was fizzed towards him by Panelo. And Panelo has tied the game here with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the third. We're locked at 7-7. Ball's back in play. Joevy Beh goes for a monstrous near-side backhander. Came up with nothing but fresh air on that. Went so hard at the ball, didn't he? Gonzalez has been tagged. Joevy Beh's done really well. Was waiting for that. And he's stopped that attack. That one's been fizzed downfield by Benja. But the ball is back with his brother here. Tommy Panelo around the corner on the grey. Panelo picking up the bouncing ball. He's super talented, isn't he? This 9-goal Argentine. And he's gone past them all. That one's been cut back towards goal. He's gone past his man. Can he get down there and get the final touch? Well, he's cut it on the near side. He wanted the whistle. Felt that he was brushed at a different speed as he went through. And what's the outcome? Poroto's looking at the umpire. Was there contact? Hard to tell from this angle. No is the answer. Another knock-in here to the big man at the back for BP Polo. Launches it. Another mighty hit downfield. Joevy Beh coming in on this. Goes near side. Skies it. Can he pluck that one out of the air? Yes, he can. Brilliantly done. David Paradise is back in defence. What can David do? Well, picked up here by Ringa. Ringa downfield. This could be another one for the Reds. It's right up in front of goal and he's touched it across the line. And Joevy Beh, who is on fire here this afternoon, has got another goal to his name. And more importantly, he's put his team back into the lead here with just 33 seconds remaining in the third. The Reds lead 8-7. Enough time to get the ball in play. We will be playing the 30 seconds. Or at least the first part of those 30 seconds as the ball is bowled in. Who's got it? Gonzalez? Cambiaso. Poroto. Looking to try and equalise here before half-time. There's the 30-second hooter. Poroto Cambiaso with a little show and go, and he's got away there from Joevy Beh. It's Cambiaso looking for 8-8. It's Cambiaso, and from there he just doesn't miss. Wonderful stuff from Poroto, who's turning on the charm here yet again at Emsworth. And on the stroke of half-time, he has tied the game with this lovely goal where he weaved his way through the traffic. Nice little show and go, put the hammer down, and of course, the pony responded. Everything he's riding is absolutely extraordinary. And at half-time here, we can't separate BP Polo and Scone. It's 8 goals apiece. Wonderful stuff. And for the benefit of all of our viewers on the live stream, we're going to go and look at an interview with Nico Pieris, who scored 11 goals in that match yesterday afternoon. And he was, indeed, MVP.
The most important thing, I think, was winning the first game of the Gold Cup. Then we need to see what we did wrong on the second half, because we started playing really good. And then they came back really hard, and we ended up winning in the last second. So really happy about that, but we need to improve a few things. So he's during the, I think was the quarters and the semi-final of the Queen's Cup, he played a few practices. He was feeling much better, and after the Queens we decided to play 2 team practices. And on the second one he had nearly he fall down from a mare here, and he felt the leg again. So I think he broke, I don't know if the same injury, but something similar, and he was not ready to play 100%, so we decided to come back with the same team. See, Sam Top went to Thailand yesterday and he's coming back tomorrow. He couldn't play this game. He let us know a few days ago, not long ago. And when we saw Sam last year playing with Park Place Vara, and we knew he was a nice and good kid, and he's playing good, and we played last practice with him, and we decided he was the one. No, I think it's going to be tough. As you could see, all the teams are good. Queen's Cup was really level. I think this Gold Cup is going to be similar. So we aim to win, but we need to go step by step, and we need to focus on the next one.
There is Fernandez Llorente. This is the goals highlight. We missed that first one. There's Labordi tickling that one across the line at the scoreboard end of the field. There's the one that Pablo wanted the foul there on the second man as Limpuesta nipped in and stole the ball. Round the corner. Nicely done. This was a nice goal. Pressure coming in the ride-off, but he dug it out from underneath his pony on the near side. Scored some great goals, Fernandez Llorente. So did Limpuesta. Here's a nice one from Santos. Great composure from the young man who had a brilliant game himself. Pablo coming around the pack, looking for the cut shot, working it around the corner and getting the job done as invariably he does. Here he is again. This was, well, this space was opened up by some really quick, silky stick work. He went away from the pack.
You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone, enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Everybody tuned into Cowdray TV and Polo Line TV. We're here from Emsworth Polo Grounds. It's half-time in this one between Scone and BP Polo. And let's have a look at the match stats thus far. Field goals, 6 to Scone, 5 to BP Polo. Throw-ins has been shaded by the white shirts of Scone, 9-6 in their favour. 4 fouls apiece. Penalties, 100% from both, 2 out of 2 and 3 out of 3 respectively. There's been no corners and no yellow cards in the game. The Chukka by Chukka. Well, it was BP who had the start. They went 2-0 with a really good start. Came out of the blocks fast. Joevy Beh is having a wonderful game. He scored one of those 2 goals and was definitely involved in the other. But they got pegged back, and it was Scone who came in 3-2 ahead. 7-4 at the end of the second. And then, well, really big third Chukka, wasn't it, for the red shirts of BP Polo. They scored 4 goals and conceded just 1 in the third. And they've tied the match here, 8-8.
You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone, enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Images of the Scone camp on the far side of the field. Scone stabled here at Emsworth. They'll be very familiar with their surroundings. No doubt having a bit of coaching from the man himself, Adolfito, who's injured for this one. Been replaced by the very capable Tommy Panelo. And I think Adolfo will be good for the next game, but not taking part in this one. But he will be down there, obviously, in a coaching capacity. And he'll be laying down the law, I would have thought, to the boys. Probably wants a better performance in the second. Talandrakos versus the Vikings. There it is, 12 o'clock tomorrow. Make sure you're tuned in, Cowdray TV, for that Polo Line TV production. Match 8. That's Talandrakos. First time I have a look at them taking on the Vikings. That's League C. Bit of treading in being done there, or not, as the case might be, by Tincho and Matthias. And Matthias and Seba. Make sure you get your messages in. Be great to hear from you. Instagram at PoloLineOK. Facebook is at PoloLineInt. Twitter at PoloLine. And TikTok is at PoloLineOK. Message us. Let us know where you're watching the action from, who you are cheering for. We'll try and get your messages read out as and when we can throughout the action. 3 more chukkers to go here in this British Open Gold Cup clash between BP and Scone. Poroto looking keen for the start of the second half, isn't he? Cambiaso. It's been very impressive. Our umpire just waiting for Panelo to come across the line and open up the back of that throw-in. The field is clearly marked here. And eventually the space is there and the ball is in. It's Poroto showing us how it's done out of the air, around the corner at pace. Ringa didn't get the distance on that he wanted, but he's Panelo's made something of nothing there, and he's stolen the ball away here from Kulor Gonzalez. Gonzalez back in possession. Comes around the corner. Tries to get past Joevy Beh and does. Matthias Gonzalez still working it downfield as the drizzle starts to arrive here in Berkshire. Could well be a slightly damp and soppy second half to this match. Tommy Panelo is there. Backhander coming in there from Panelo. Turns them around. Cambiaso will be the first to surface. Glances over his right shoulder, not once but twice. Puts the brakes on. Garvy Beh is there. Comes across to Poroto. But Poroto's got some protection there from David Paradise, who's done a good blocking job, and that's allowed Cambiaso to work this one up over the halfway line. And now he's found a little bit of space and he's given them all the jump. It's Cambiaso, may well put the hammer down here and start to run towards goal. Takes the hook, works it back infield. Still Poroto Cambiaso fakes the shoot and carries on, just tapping it downfield. He wanted the whistle, but he's got a teammate there, and the shot comes in from Panelo. He's missed it. Had to have been close. But Tommy Panelo is wide to the left, and the attack has broken down. First time hit under his pony's neck, and that was not the knock-in of his dreams, that is for sure. But was David Paradise too close? Well, David Paradise must have been inside the 30-yard line. Ball's been marched down to a 5B, and it's been dropped by Mr. Howard Smith. Ringa is teeing the ball up. Bencha takes over. Teed it up pretty high here, Panelo, as invariably he normally does. But it's going to be his teammate who's coming in to take this, the man with the most monstrous half swing, Garvy Beh from the halfway line. It's gone with a half swing. It's got some height on it. More of a chip shot, though, that one. And Cambiaso was waiting for that. He may leave it here for his teammate. Little touch there by Tommy Panelo, but Poroto is around the outside of everyone. Miscontrol from him. Needs some backup here from David. David Paradise out towards Cambiaso. Good work from Paradise. Not only did he get a lovely pass out towards Poroto, but he also got a block in, and that's allowed Cambiaso some space to open up. Tries to punch that one down towards Tommy Panelo. A miscontrol there on the backhander. A swing and a miss from Beh, and Panelo is in. He's also over the top, though, and, well, Gonzalez comes in with a crunching ride off there on Bencha. Tommy has it, cuts it, and he's overcut it. He's overcooked it. It's wide to the right. So score remains 8-8. A lot of huff and puff here in the fourth, but thus far no goals. That one's gone out towards Benja, who's nipped off and changed ponies and is going to be the recipient of that short neck shot pass from the back line. Punches it down towards the centre of the field, but Cambiaso's backhander was a beauty. Finds Tommy Panelo. Tommy turning. He's done well here. He'll leave this for Poroto. And they're systematically working this one down the field. Fakes to go long and then decides to just nudge the ball out to the left. Good work there from Beh, but Cambiaso came up with the backhander and he's put Panelo in. Benja comes in and tries to get the challenge in on his big bro, but the umpires don't like it and the whistle is gone. Well, there's the ride-off between the two Greys and the two brothers. And it was Big Brother who gets the verdict. The Panelos from Lobos in Buenos Aires, a beautiful town in the countryside outside of BA. I think there's 5 of them. They're all pretty good. Poroto tees the ball up. The umpire's just explaining there to Joevy Beh what the situation was, what they've awarded, and why. And he is going to have to retreat behind the back line and take his medicine. Cambiaso looking for the lead here for Scone, 9-8. Strokes it and strokes it through. He's got the score and it's starting to get a little bit miserable here at Emsworth. The rain is coming down and goals are going to get harder and harder to come by, despite the fact that this field looks in immaculate condition. And it is Scone who are back in the lead here halfway through the fourth. David Paradise at the front. May get a little nibble on the ball here, David. Reaching out there was Ringa, but it's been stolen here by Poroto. Cambiaso goes across the field. Nice pass out towards Tommy Panelo. Panelo looking around to see where Cambiaso is, and that's a lovely little measured tail backhand pass. He tries to return the favour and he's gone down. David may have a go here. Paradise, big ride off there on Benja Panelo. That's brilliant from David Paradise, but there's a whistle as Tommy Panelo escaped with the ball. The umpires didn't like it. Well, here's the replay. Hook. And it's going to be a penalty 5 in favour of the defending team here. Here comes Garvy Beh. He's faking the half swing. It is a thing of beauty. He's mishit that one though. And he's hit it straight towards Kulor Gonzalez. Gonzalez puts the brakes on and comes around the corner. Miscontrol from him, but have no fear. Cambiaso is here. Gonzalez is back in control. Spins around the corner and straightens up towards goal. Beh with a little important flick backhander, but only as far as Tommy Panelo. Panelo back in possession here, and he's working it through the traffic. Goes past one. Still there. Takes on his brother. Flicks it away from him and then comes up with a gem of another next shot. Has that gone too far? Oh, he's overcooked it. And it's gone across the face of goal and wide. So a knock in here to the Reds. Remember, they lost their first match. Played one, lost one. Scone the other way. They had a victory. And the Reds have been very good for large parts of this match. Still obviously very much in the game here. That one's gone downfield. But first to surface in defence here is Tommy Panelo. Tail backhander out towards Gonzalez, whose pony completely sat down. Lost the back right leg and did really well to recover that pony. And so too did Gonzalez. Kept his composure. Left the ball there for Cambiaso. Faking to go long there and just taking on the challenge was Tommy Panelo. But Joevy Beh was equal to it. Here's Poroto Cambiaso. Toying with Panelo. Cat and mouse, waiting for Gonzalez to come in and get the block. And we've got a whistle here. I think there may be an injury. Is it David? I think David Paradise has taken a knock here. Maybe on his right arm that is the area of concern. Doesn't look too serious, but you never know. He's had a good Chukka, David Paradise. He's been involved in a lot of plays. And he's been getting better and better as the game has gone on. Certainly won't want to come off. Don't think it's that serious, but who knows? Tommy just coming across to check. But I think the Australian is going to be good to go. Could well be a drop ball, clear possession white. And indeed it is. Umpire calls play. Here comes Tommy Panelo. Taps it. Joevy Beh comes across. Poroto on the loop, drops in behind. The ball will be left for Cambiaso here. And it is. Here comes Poroto. Cuts that one down towards goal. Big ride-off coming in, but Beh was up to it, and he came up with a nice near-side backhand. Good clearance shot there from the big man at the back. Cambiaso with a little flick around the corner, and he's found Gonzalez. Oh, look at that from Beh. Really good little reflex backhander, and it's turned around the corner once again under his pony's tail, that time from Ringa. Gonzalez, open backhander looking for Tommy Panelo, who's gone beyond his brother. But he's still got to get past Garvy Beh here. Garvy Beh's done well. Look at the touch out of the air there from Poroto. And Poroto may well be in here. In fact, it's Tommy Panelo who's ahead of him. He's going to get the touch and then the flick towards goal. And the Whites have scored again after some really good, solid, stout defence by the red shirts of BP Polo. Eventually they succumb. And Scone, on the stroke of the hooter in the fourth Chukka, have opened up a 2-goal advantage here. They are in double figures. It's 10 goals to 8. Gives us an opportunity to go and have a look at the goals between Dubai and 12 Oaks. 10 goals to 3 from Brooksfield down at Cowdray. Here's a couple of the highlights. Some running goals. That was Laulé. Here's Heta. Glances over his right shoulder, left shoulder, goes right again, realises that he's got all the time in the world to steady the pony, and he doesn't often miss from there. Here he is around the corner, just a bit casual there, and some good work from Vizcacha. Goes across the goal, switches to the near side, opens up the backhander. That's an absolute beauty, isn't it? And watch this from Heta. A tap and a whack. Boom. Going, going, going. One bounce.
Max power, I'm about to go bigger and better. If I ever lose, set it on faster than ever. If I ever lose, set it on bigger and better. Even though those are come bigger, bolder, faster. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm bigger, bolder, faster.
You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone, enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We welcome you back to images of Tommy Panelo and Kulor Gonzalez making their way back out onto the field here at Emsworth as the drizzle starts to come down again. Let's hope that we can get away relatively dry here. But we do have some moody skies around. Players just coming back out to the centre. Don't forget to sort yourself out with the Polo Line TV app and enjoy the best of polo. Get that app downloaded on your smartphone or your device or both. And stay up to date with all the scores, schedules, results and highlights. It really is worth getting. I've just sorted mine out this morning. Thank you, Seba. And I shall be in touch with all the polo action across the globe. We're just waiting for one. It may well be Joevy Beh. There he is, coming out on the chestnut with the white face. Poroto starting this Chukka on Solari. Clash of sticks. Joevy. He's done well, but he's given it back to Benja Panelo. Benja switches to the near side. Sorry, Tommy Panelo, of course. Across the field he goes. Backhander comes in and turns it around towards Ringa. And Ringa has found Benja. Benja reaching out. Decides to take on his brother, and he's done well. Found a little pocket of space across the field. Panelo versus Panelo. Opens up. Next shot looks pretty good. Has he got enough angle on it? I'm not sure if he has, and it's going to be shepherded out of play. And possession will go back to Scone here from their own back line. The Whites bring the ball back into play here in the form of Tommy Panelo. 10-8 to the good. Little measured pop pass out towards Poroto Cambiaso. Cambiaso cuts back and finds a lot of space there behind the pack. And he's off and running. David Paradise goes to try and block a man and provide a little bit of space here for his teammate. Here comes Tommy. Poroto's going for the pass down the left-hand side, but Tommy Panelo went for a Hail Mary and came up with not much on that. Plenty of time to loop around though. He's still got possession and resets himself, and this time he's mishit that one. He hit the ground pretty hard and it's gone out to the left-hand side. It'll be easy pickings here on the near side of his pony for Garvy Beh. Garvy trying to launch an attack here for BP Polo. Huge ride-off between him and Poroto Cambiaso, and Benja decides to hit that one first time and fizz one up towards his number one, who's had a great game. On this occasion, he's over the top of the bouncing ball under pressure from David Paradise. Cambiaso has shown too much of that to Beh. And nipping in here is Ringa. The goal shot comes in and he's got it. An opportunist goal there, really nicely worked. But it was, once again, some great work from Joevy Beh, who put the pressure on young Poroto Cambiaso. And his teammate came in and reaped the benefits. Lovely neck shot. And once again, the difference is just one. We're back in play. The goal scorer. Ringa on the grey, weaving right and then back to the left. Picked up now by his teammate. Benja, miscontrol. Have no fear, because Garvey is there and he may go with that big hit down towards goal. He may have a pop from here if the space opens up. There's the half swing. Didn't quite get all of that. It's gone quite high. And Poroto was waiting for it to just drop out of the air, and he's off and running once again. Cambiaso. Oh, miscontrol from him. David Paradise almost plucked that out of the air. Oh, and that's cute. Faking the backhander and then spinning the corner. Sold them all a dummy here. Good work from Garvy Beh once again. Out of the air, Garvy Beh. Cambiaso takes it forward back towards his own goal on Solari, and then sweeps it across down towards the Scone camp on the far side of the field. Poroto Cambiaso Takes the contact there with Beh. He's got so much time on the ball, this kid, hasn't he? It's extraordinary, the composure. And then when he asks the ponies to go, they do. They explode into space, and before you know it, you blink and he's gone. Here he is again, up to the halfway line, miscontrol. Panelo. Benja working this one around the corner, being hunted down by Gonzalez. Panelo. He's got a runner here if he can find the next shot, decides to turn it back in field. And, well, he's done well here, Benja. But the pass downfield was just come up a little bit short, and his brother's going to jump all over that. And Benja, trying to come across and put the squeeze on Tommy Panelo, has drawn the umpire's whistle. And with 2:50 left on the clock in the fifth, this penalty can only be going in favour of Scone. Well, you saw clearly there on the replay, Tommy meeting that on the head-to-head after that mishit pass downfield. And his brother just nipping out in front of him on the right of way. The umpires are just having a chat as to where to go with this. And they may be thinking of something more than that, but they've dropped the ball down and it will be a 4. Cambiaso teeing the ball up. And he's looking to restore a 2-goal advantage here from 60 yards. Poroto. It's low. And it's not going to trouble the scorers. It's wide to the right. So BP Polo still right in this game, no doubt about it. Garvy Beh. Under his pony's neck. Out towards Joevy Beh. Is that going to stay in play? Yes, it does. It cannons into the boards. Joevy trying to put the brakes on, but he couldn't quite get back and around to the ball. And it's Cambiaso who finds a pass down towards Tommy. Tommy Panelo now in and in front of goal. Needs to sort out the angle. Oh, that's nicely done in defence. Ringa fizzes one under his pony's neck. It's long and it's hard, but Cambiaso is there. Reaching out here is Poroto Cambiaso. Extraordinary turn once again from the pony. And, well, Joevy Beh, who was trying to get some pressure here on Poroto. Let's have another look at it. And that little obstruction just allowed the BP player to come in and steal the ball. So the sort of combination foul there, if you like. And the umpires have dropped this one down on the 40-yard marker. The Reds are being told to retreat. And another opportunity from the spot for Cambiaso. This time he's 20 yards closer. Poroto looking for number 11. He's got hold of that, and there's nothing that Benja Panelo can do, who came flying out to try and get bat on ball and stop that from crossing the line. But the goal is good, and the 2-goal advantage is restored. Panelo versus Panelo, and it's Tommy who's found the play and found Gonzalez. Gonzalez will leave this to Cambiaso, who switches over, gets a pop of a bounce there and leaves it behind, but Gonzalez has done well. Kulor takes the hook there on Joevy Beh and then comes around the corner. Backhander from Beh. Cambiaso with an incredible turn once again. Bencha will have to yield. Poroto down towards Tommy. Tommy will go for the under the neck shot. And, well, didn't quite get his angles right there, and that one's wide to the right. Just 40 seconds remaining here in this fifth and potentially penultimate Chukka as the Reds bring the ball back into play. A miscontrol there at the back by Garvy Beh, who's been very, very solid. But he's no harm done. He's got Bencha Panelo, who's come back to help him mop things up. Under his pony's neck, out towards his number 2. Tap and a whack. Nice little pass downfield. Back towards Garvy Beh, who's under pressure from David Paradise, but it's Joevy who comes in and cuts it down towards goal, but Tommy Panelo says, thank you very much, I'll have a piece of that, and he's broken away with the ball. Miscontrol from him. His brother comes up with the tail backhander, and Tommy is scrambling back to get back in defence here, and he's going to get back just before the ball crosses the line. Yes, he does, and he comes up with an absolute ripper of a near-side backhander. Wonderful stuff there from Tommy Panelo. Cambiaso opens up and drives it up over the halfway line. He's looking here for the run of Gonzalez. Gonzalez on the Bay. Will have to hit this first time and get it back as far downfield as he can. Hopefully that will stay in play as far as Gonzalez is concerned. Or has he overhit it on that line? Bencha plays it, ball still in play. And there is the second bell. And that one hit downfield by Ringa as the bell goes. End of the fifth. And we'll restart with a roll in deep down inside the BP territory. And at the end of the break, the end of this fifth Chukka here, folks, we've got a 2-goal advantage in favour of Scone. It's 11 goals to 9. Keta taps it forward and then absolutely smashes it down towards goal. Where's that gone? Oh, he hasn't, has he? He absolutely has. Look at that. It's just too easy.
You are watching BP Polo.
Versus Scone, enjoy it live in Cowdray TV.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to this wonderful setting here in Berkshire. The weather not quite so wonderful, but we're here at the Emsworth Polo Grounds for the conclusion of this match between Scone and BP Polo. We look at the Chukka by Chukka progression here. Good start by the BP Polo team. They opened up their account, went 2-0, but they got pegged back, and it was 3-2 to Scone at the end of the first. 7-4 Scone led at the end of the second, and then a really good comeback in that third Chukka by BP Polo. They'd equalised, and we came in at half-time, locked at 8 goals apiece. Scone with 2 in the fourth, went 10-8, and a goal apiece in the fifth leaves us here into the start of the sixth, and it's 11 goals to 9. Ball's in play. Bencha Panelo escaping with the ball on the little chestnut with the star, and then he fizzes one down the boards. His brother is well positioned here in defence. Tommy tickles it around the corner and then goes out to the left-hand side deliberately to miss that traffic, and Cambiaso will get across here on the grey. Poroto. fires it down towards goal, but it was well read and good execution here from Tommy Panelo, who met it on the head-to-head. But they can't really get out of their own half at the moment, BP Polo, and it's a question of whether they can get the ball past Poroto and Tommy Panelo, because every time they hit it, it just comes back at them. That one's gone long and left, and Tommy's trying to get on the end of that and try and straighten it up back towards goal, but he's been beaten by the ball, and that one's crossed the line, and possession will go back to the Reds. So the Reds just having a chat and trying to work out how they're going to get the ball up over the halfway line. They're pinned in at the moment, and that's one way to do it, isn't it? With a half swing, a monstrous half swing, and he's gone up over the halfway line with that. Lovely bit of skill there on the near side of his pony, but eventually Cambiaso comes in and gets the hook. But a little miscontrol there, and Ringa is in here. Ringa's approach shot looks pretty good, or he's going quite hard at this as he pushed it wide right. He has too much on the approach on that angle, and what a chance that was for BP Polo. Well, you can't help but thinking that they needed that one. Here's Tommy. Poroto goes right. Tommy with a miss-hit out to the left. He was looking for Gonzalez, but he's absolutely scuffed that, and he's left his brother in on goal here on the little chestnut, and it's Benja Panelo who's got to get away from David Paradise, and he's going to stick and ball that one across the line, and he brings up double digits here for the red shirts of BP Polo. And once again, the game is alive. They trail by just one. It's 11 goals to 10. Well. 4:24 on the clock here in the sixth. Cambiaso has changed. Just about gets back in time. Gonzalez. Kulor working this one forward here. And Poroto will take up proceedings and then finds a nice little pass down back towards Gonzalez. He'll be beaten to the ball there, and that's a big backhander, but that's a little bit unlucky. It's been charged down here by Gonzalez, and Kulor will reach out, and Kulor will score and restore that 2-goal advantage for Scone. It's 12-10. Well, there's the replay. The backhander from Garvy Beh was charged down by Matias Gonzalez, and his approach flick set up that little neck shot, set himself, got over the top of the ball, and executed it perfectly, restoring that 2-goal lead. Well, there's players offside here, and the Whites have it, and this player is still offside, isn't he? Cambiaso, and he is. He's gone straight to the ball and played the backhander, but he never got back beyond one of his own players. Came in from an offside position in the throw, and let's have a look at it. Nudged forward, and he's got, you see, the 3 red players all in front of him, between him and his own goal. He's got to get back beyond one of those before he can start to re-engage. And the umpire's not missing anything, of course. Whistle's gone. There's going to be a chance here for young Poroto Cambiaso. 30-yard penalty, 40-yard hit. Penalty 3, should I say, 40-yard hit. And 3 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in the sixth. Cambiaso. It's low, it's hard, but he's got it. Nothing that Benja could do. The ball was really travelling despite the fact that it was along the ground, and Panelo just couldn't get there. 13 goals to 10 in favour of the Whites. So the Reds giving themselves a rallying cry. They've been so good for so long in this game. They've got possession back here. Benja got some protection there from Garvy Beh, who took Paradise out of the way, and that's allowed Benja to spin the corner and pick a pass, and he's picked a pass out towards his number 2 here, Ringa. Oh, nice little spin turn there, and he's leading Cambiaso a merry dance, and he's found that one downfield. It's just taken a little deflection, and the deflection has fallen nicely here for the defending team because it's Kulor Gonzalez around the corner. Gonzalez coming forward with the ball here. Good steal, or half steal, but Gonzalez will come in with a big ride off here on Ringa, and still got the ball here. Matias Gonzalez. Cambiaso thinks about coming in there, tries to just get the flick. Oh, that's clever from Poroto, really clever. And he's put Gonzalez back in, and Gonzalez will shoot, and Gonzalez will score. And that will be that, folks, because the difference is 4 now. It's 14 goals to 10, and there's absolutely nowhere back here. Just missed that replay of Cambiaso's touch. It was a class touch. Great vision from the young Poroto Cambiaso, because he flicked the ball back, took the hook and flicked the ball back towards his teammate, took 2 red defenders out of the play, and he put his teammate right in front of goal. And Gonzalez, who looks in confident form in front of the sticks, has got the job done. It's 14-10. Ooh, swing and a miss. Good hook from Benka. Can he steal one back here for the Reds? Still 1-2-1 on the clock here in the 6th. Panelo fizzes one down towards goal. Cambiaso was waiting for that. A swing out of the air there from Joevy Beh. Didn't quite get the touch that he was looking for, but Ringa is in here. He's working the ball around the corner. Both sides of the pony here from Ringa. Picked up now by Benja. Benja Panelo now round the corner at pace here. He's going to try and go past his brother and get another goal back here. Reaches out, goes for the cut shot. Oh, that's nicely done. Benja Panelo delaying the cut shot, hit it so late, didn't he? And he comes up with an absolute beauty in the dying embers of this 6th Chukka. It's 14-11. There's the replay. Gonzalez trying to swat that out of the air and prevent the goal from crossing the line, but to no avail. Gonzalez has changed, so just 3 in the throw-in here for Scone. Gonzalez is back and he's onside. Cambiaso goes back here, trying to put the squeeze on Benja Panelo. Panelo will be given a little bit of space, but he's just over the top of that, and Cambiaso will come in and play a tail backhander out towards Kulor Gonzalez. Gonzalez coming through here on a fresh mount, punches it long under his pony's neck, and then asks that pony to extend. The ball's going to hit the boards, pop out of play, and that will be that, ladies and gentlemen. The hooter goes to end this contest. A really good match, and in the most part, BP Polo playing their part, no doubt about it. They were really good today, but they've been turned over by a really solid Scone performance. And the final score here at Emsworth, it's 14 goals to 11 in favour of Scone. Let's have a look at the Chukka by Chukka. 3-2 to the Whites at the beginning of the second. 7-4 they led at the end of that second Chukka. We had a really good third by BP Polo. They scored 4 goals and conceded 1 and were locked at 8-8 at half-time. But then Scone went 2 goals ahead at the end of the 4th, 10-8. 11-9, they kept that 2-goal advantage, and then just edging further ahead there in the 6th when they added 3 more goals. 14-11 final score. Here's some of the highlights. Good start, wasn't it, for BP Polo? And in particular, Joevy Beh, who came out of the traps on fire. Good goal for him in the first. Poroto. No one at home in defence in the end there for Cambiaso to convert with some time on his hands. Here he is again. No challenge coming in. He's gone beyond the last line. And you see Garvy Beh coming into shot there, but it was too little too late. And here he is again. Total composure from Cambiaso. This was nice around the corner from Ringa. David Paradise and Poroto coming in for the challenge. I'm quite sure what Poroto's appealing for there, but that was nicely done there by Ringa. This one from range. Splitting the posts. Gonzalez tails it. I thought Poroto was going to get on the end of that, but also turning in front of him was his teammate, Tommy Panelo. That's the same goal again. And why not? Panelo with a little flick under his pony's neck to finish that one off. Here's Poroto again. Had so much possession, didn't he? But he lost out there to Joevy Beh, who did really well. And it was his teammate who popped in and got that converted. This is the one that the backhander was charged down. Gonzalez late in the day, reaching out and setting himself. A couple of late goals there for Kulor Gonzalez. And here's another one after that. Really good bit of work from Poroto Cambiaso. Gonzalez once again on target for Scone. Field goals, 9-8 in favour of the white shirts of Scone. Throw-ins, well, that was even Stevens, wasn't it? 13 apiece. Fouls, just 6 by Scone, 9 by BP. Penalties were pretty good on the day. 5 out of 6 for Poroto, 3 out of 3 for BP Polo. There were no corners and no yellow cards in the match. So that's pretty much all we've got time for this transmission. Make sure that you're tuned in tomorrow, 12 o'clock. That's the Vikings versus Telendrakos from League C. And that will be followed by a 3 p.m. match between Park Place Vara and Green Gates from League B. Until then, it's goodbye from everyone here at Polo Line TV.